$99. The deal is done. At Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, pick out any pre-owned vehicle on our lot and pay just $99 down. Truckloads of vehicles are arriving daily. Put $99 down and drive home any vehicle you want. Prices as low as $29.95. Over 20 priced $10,000 and less. Can't beat it. $99 down and the deal is done. At Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, or shop us online anytime at premiertroy.com.
Run it.
Welcome to ESPN College Football.
This is going to be wild. Run it.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Are you a driver trainee just finishing school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Fuzzy? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
If you have $99, the deal is done. At Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, pick out any pre-owned vehicle on our lot and pay just $99 down. Truckloads of vehicles are arriving daily. Put $99 down and drive home any vehicle you want. Prices as low as $29.95. Over 20 priced $10,000 and less. Can't beat it. $99 down and the deal is done. At Premier Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Troy, or shop us online anytime at premiertroy.com.
Run it.
Welcome to ESPN College Football.
This is going to be wild. Run it.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can
right here, right now. 120 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Price to sell today. Yes. $29 down. And payments as low as $99 a month. Shop PremierTroy.com today and save thousands. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Check out the scoreboard. J.D. Power's #1 in initial quality midsize truck. Jeep Gladiator. 0 APR for 36 months. And no payments for 90 days. Shop PremierTroy.com today during Jeep Adventure Days and save thousands. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right, we match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line, be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
All right, Steve. Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. My name's Mike Amos. His name is Bill Rice Jr. As we come to you from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama, and on Facebook across the nation, across the world on Facebook this morning. Hope you're doing well. Lot to talk about, Bill Rice. What's going on?
You're right. I don't know where to start. I'm gonna let you start. But
Well, I'll tell you this. We went down to and saw high school football at its very best in Arrington, Alabama. They had over 3,000 people, jam-packed, and Rice and I walk up to the top of the bleachers, and we noticed that we're on the 50-yard line. Nobody's around. We sat down. Nobody came up.
In reserve seating.
We watched Arrington just demolish this great running back from Hartford, Alabama, Emmanuel Henderson. Emmanuel Henderson for the night against a very good Arrington team had 25 yards rushing. Can you believe that, Mike?
Yeah, I talked to Rice about it at the Troy game up in the Stadium Club. I'm wondering if Alabama should pull the scholarship offer.
Well, I tell you what, he's fast. That's all we saw. But hey, they just knocked his helmet off and everything. I bet he knocked his helmet off 3 times in a row one time. It seemed like.
Well, yeah, I'm with Michael. I mean, this guy is not the best running back in America. He's not in the top 10 in Alabama. He won the best running back on the field. Arrington had a running back that was much better.
They had a sophomore quarterback that could fly.
I've always said I'm amazed at a 2A level. This guy's getting all this praise. I mean, 2A football, I mean, nothing against it, but a lot different playing a 2A schedule compared to a 6 and 7A schedule.
Of course, he's from Hartford, Alabama.
I wouldn't say these critical things of him if Troy Cable was in Hartford, but you know, we are. Well, you know, he's. Maybe we just caught him on a bad night, but Mike and I left after halftime because Arrington was up 32-0.
32-0 at the half.
And I didn't. You must have got stats for the game, but I would say he ran the ball 14 times in the first half. Half of those plays were for negative yards or no yards. Yeah. He was being tackled by one Arrington player. You know, a great running back.
A lot of times, yeah.
The first guy never tackles a great running back. You know, he runs through or makes the first guy miss, but the first guy was sticking him. I thought he was kind of timid, and they put him at receiver a couple of times, and they threw a pass to him. It was getting ready to be a big play right in his hands, and he flinched and was afraid of getting hit and dropped it.
And the thing is, he was getting hit so many times from so many different places that he was just, like you said, he was getting gun shy. It really was.
So
I'm sure he's good. He's fast.
You can see he's fast, and he looks like an athlete.
And they didn't kick it to him on kickoffs or anything like that. But
I mean, is he just a one-man team? I guess the rest of the team's awful.
A lot of people
he didn't have any blocking, and they have a weird offense where he was the quarterback on half the plays. They just snapped it to him, and he ran, and then they put him in the I formation 10 yards back.
10 yards back, I formation, 10 yards from the line of scrimmage.
And so
he had to run 10 yards before he gained a yard. You know that?
He just Arrington was very well coached. You know, Arrington's got some prospects that are young. I think in the future. Arrington's quarterback. I wish I knew his name.
And then that little
number
running
2,
back.
We were told he's a sophomore. Super fast.
Then this running back, I want to say he was number 1. Was it number 1?
Yeah, and he wasn't that big, but he got north and south, and he could go outside, and he finished runs. Probably 106.
Nobody asked where y'all were with the cameras?
No, but I tell you what, I was very, very, very impressed with Arrington's whole setup. The stadium setup was beautiful. I mean, a huge crowd, and of course, I tell you, they were a good football team. Somebody's going to have to be a good team to beat Arrington. I tell you, they were good.
I mean, Stephen Gilchrist was a great coach. We all know that.
Gilchrist did a great job and probably had more assistant coaches than anybody I've ever seen. I bet you they had 10 coaches on the sideline. But good to see them, and a great atmosphere.
That's good that y'all actually went and saw Henderson play. I was curious. I know we saw Tallulah back in high school at Alabaster, and you always want to go see these so-called great players. And maybe he's better than we think he is. But I mean, that is hard for me to believe. When I saw that score, 42-0, on AL.com, I was shocked.
Exactly right. Of course, so the battle cry this morning is "We are Jack State. We are Jack State." Jack State goes into Camp Randall and beats Florida State on the last play of the game. Mike, tell us about it.
It's Doak Campbell, not Camp Randall.
Doak
Camp
Campbell, I'm
Randall's
sorry.
where Wisconsin plays.
Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. And Mike, tell us about it.
Florida State, almost pulled an upset last year. A lot of people forget they were up 14-0 or 21-0, and almost beat Florida State 2 or 3 years ago before that. So it's not like it's never come close to happening. But first loss ever by Florida State to a 1AA program. John Gross, remember that name? There's going to be some coaching jobs coming open, here in a couple of months, and he's a guy that's won everywhere he's been. So,
what did he do? Tell us how it happened, Mike. I want to hear it.
Well, I mean, it basically came down to the last play of the game.
The last play of the game.
Jack State had the ball at the 41-yard line. Of course, they have Cooper at quarterback, who transferred from Clemson about 3 years ago. He's thrown for about 7,000 yards in college. And he hit a guy named Phil Y'all, who was also a transfer from Duke, at about the 10-yard line. He caught the ball, had a defensive back on him, made a move to the inside, got away from that guy, and then another Florida State guy was there to make the tackle, but a Jack State guy just got just enough of him, and he ran it in for a touchdown, and everybody from that Jack State team piled on him on the goal line, and all the fans were
all the Jack State fans. When you couldn't you picture that?
And then all the Jack State players put Jack State flags on the Florida State logo on the 50-yard line. I mean, it was I guess it was the low point of all this going on in Tallahassee over these last several years.
But I tell you what, Jack State. Jacksonville State's going to get so much exposure. They're going to get an opportunity to play 1A.
I think so, Mike.
They're going to get a shot.
It was the ESPN play of the day.
Yeah, and of course, we are Jack State.
There will be some Sun Belt teams that will go to other conferences. Those teams that have gone to the Big 12, Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida. That opens up some slots. That opens up some slots in that conference, and they probably will raid a Sun Belt team or two, and that leaves open the slot for Jack State if they want.
I told y'all BYU was going to beat Utah. I don't know why nobody listens to me.
I thought I picked them. I think,
and they hadn't beaten them in a while either. Want to mention, of course, the big showdown with Jones and Tua last night or yesterday afternoon, and what a great effort by Jones. So he guy fumbled on the goal line.
And another Alabama guy.
Lost. Yeah, that was another Alabama guy that played a great game. Damian Harris is the starting running back, and I tell you what, when you got 5 grown men tackling you and bringing you to the ground, it's hard to hold on a ball.
And but that's how they lost the game. Or Jones would have been the highlight of the whole weekend.
I've never seen a guy. They only scored 16 points, but I've never seen a quarterback that played more masterfully and just ended up with 16 points. But he completed about 75% of his passes, threw for 288 yards. They had 2 fumbles, and they had just a ton of penalties and plays called back. I mean, Mac Jones for his first start in the NFL was sterling.
I'll tell you this.
You gotta be happy for Tua though. The pressure's on Tua. You know, Tua's second year as a starter. Miami was like talking about wanting to trade him for Deshaun Watson. So when it's all said and done, Mac Jones had a great game, which I was happy about. But Tua got the win, which I'm even more happy about.
Tua didn't play that bad either.
Tua really needed to win that game.
Yeah, well, you're right. He played well. Both of them played well and represented the University of Alabama very well. So I'll tell you something about Jones. He's going to become America's favorite. I mean, he's got the what does it say? They call you sometimes.
I don't
know. No, but
you call Rice Opie Taylor.
Opie Taylor. He's got the Opie Taylor look, and America's going to adopt him. They're going to love this guy. He just looks like a little schoolboy out there, and he's quite a quarterback.
He's got the Brady intangibles, or he's just super smart, obviously.
Yeah.
And he makes great decisions. He lines up the team right. He changes his pass protection. He checks down real fast when somebody's covered. He's accurate most of the time. If he,
how about
barring injury, Mac Jones should be the next great Alabama quarterback, going back to Kenny Stabler, Joe Namath. I mean, that far.
Jalen Hurts was phenomenal yesterday. Threw 3 touchdown passes, 265 yards.
Yeah. Jalen looked
ran
good.
for 70 yards. Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, had 70 yards and a touchdown. Waddle had a touchdown for the Dolphins. I mean, it was just an Alabama highlight reel. I think Najee Harris rushed for 50 yards. And how about this? Mark Ingram, in his 11th season, had 27 carries for 87 yards for the Houston Texans in their win.
Mark Ingram, you're right. Boy, it was an Alabama day in the pros, I would say. Man, I tell you.
How about this? We're 10 minutes into the show and hadn't even talked about Troy and Liberty. Is this what Troy?
We are. Who shot? We're still wondering, ladies and gentlemen, who shot Liberty Valance? He was the bravest of them all.
I wish we could have shot him.
I tell you what, Hugh Freeze. I knew he was a great coach, but I didn't know he was a ball control coach like that. Troy had the ball 21 minutes. Liberty had it 39 minutes.
They did keep it. They did. They were very slow, very slow. You remember that? And you're right. He knows how to coach football. He knows how to coach.
Well, Troy went down and scored. Scored, went right down the field. First time had the ball, scored a touchdown, and it was in the game. Into the third quarter, scored a late touchdown to make the score respectable. But I've just concluded, I was real sad because this is a big game for Troy. It would have been a big deal to beat Liberty. But after reflecting on it, I think Liberty has a really good football team.
That's right.
And I think Troy's got a really good football team.
Too.
So I hope they don't let this loss.
I think Troy's got a good defense. I don't know if they got a really good football team. I think they got a really good defense.
Much better defense.
Yeah, that front was tough. But I'll tell you
this. If Troy can't run the ball, which they couldn't run the ball the last 2 years, and they can't run the ball this year, I mean, let's just be honest with you. Chip Lindsey is 10-15. 10-15. And he's going into the biggest game of his coaching life against Southern Miss. Will Hall.
The runner-up to his job. He's going up against the runner-up to his job. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Will Hall, they beat Grambling 37-0, and now Southern Miss is 1-1 after getting blown out by South Alabama. This is his first year at Southern Miss. This will be his third game. This will be Chip Lindsey's third season going into his third game. If Southern Miss beats Troy this weekend, I mean, it doesn't look good for our program. I'll just go ahead and tell you that. So this is a huge game in Hattiesburg.
That's right. Saturday. Don't losing to Liberty. That's nothing to be embarrassed about. They are a top 25 type team. But
Mike, that quarterback for Liberty is great.
Yeah.
I mean, he
I
is
know.
great.
I sat there and watched it right next to you. I
know. And let me tell you something. He made a play late in the game. I was telling Rice about it earlier. Where he ran to the right side, and they had about 4 or 5 Troy guys were fixing to nail him for a loss. He turns around and runs the opposite way, all the way to the sideline, and gains 10 yards and first down, a big first down, and they continue to run the ball on Troy.
Yeah, Troy sacked him 5 times. You can't ask more than that.
Oh, yeah,
the defense tackle sacked him 2.5 at tackle.
I haven't seen anybody's comments from Liberty, but I would think Liberty knew good and damn well they were in a fight. They were in a fight.
I tell you whose stock went up in that game is Troy's defensive coordinator Brandon Hall.
Yeah,
Brandon Hall. I mean, I guarantee if Liberty goes and lights everybody up the rest of the season, puts 40 on everybody, and then Troy held him to 21, everybody's going to want Brandon Hall.
Tell you about this quarterback. He would not only is he a good passer, he is big and strong, and it takes 2 whole men to bring him down. I'm telling you, he is. And of course, he played at Auburn at one time. You tell me now. Let me tell you something. Auburn's quarterback is very good. But let me tell you this, I'll take the guy that's at Liberty.
No doubt.
This guy is a great player.
No doubt.
Mike, I can see him being big time in the pros because he's so physical.
It's funny that Malzahn didn't keep him because he's perfect for Malzahn's offense.
Yeah, that's right.
Running the ball.
Yeah, I know. He would have been like Nick Marshall. I don't get it at all.
I think there was something personal or something, because
mean,
how do you let a guy like this go? And don't get me wrong, Auburn's got a pretty good quarterback, but not like this guy. This guy's a bona fide pro quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, Patrick Nix, his dad played in Auburn, and there's a lot of politics at Auburn, always has been. And, I think initially Nix kind of won that job because of his name.
Okay, Mike, we've got the Charles Henderson High School coach here, and we're going to take a short break. We're going to bring him in here in just a moment.
Talk about the early county game.
And, the big
Coach
game.
Hambright.
Yeah, that's right. We appreciate Coach Hambright coming on our set this morning. We'll be back in just a moment.
Right here, right now. 120 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Price to sell today. Yes. $29 down. And payments as low as $99 a month. Shop PremierTroy.com today and save thousands. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Check out the scoreboard. J.D. Power's #1 in initial quality midsize truck. Jeep Gladiator. 0 APR for 36 months. And no payments for 90 days. Shop PremierTroy.com today during Jeep Adventure Days and save thousands. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Did you know at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, after 30 days of employment, that you can join our 401k retirement plan? That's right. We match it up to 4%. That's gross pay, 4% after 30 days of employment. Drive a Buck Division truck for Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Be home twice a week and every weekend. You know, if these wheels roll at Wiley Sanders Truck Line, you make money. Home twice a week, every weekend. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, $1,000 sign-on bonus. Come drive for the best today.
Back to our show, and ladies and gentlemen, Coach Quinn Hambright has joined our show this morning. He's the head football coach at Charles Henderson High School. Coach, we appreciate you coming by.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give
yes,
us
sir.
a couple of rundown on your game this past weekend, and also what we got to look forward to against Andalusia next week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We early county. We had early county last Thursday. Short week to prepare for a wing T team. Something that we probably won't see for the rest of the year, for the most part. Now, if you turned on the Auburn one, I'd like it, man. But you got the Alabama one playing right now, man.
He's aggravating. He just came on somehow. Listen to him.
That's scary.
Yeah.
There we go.
It must be
turn the thing off. There we go. Come on.
Uh-oh.
I might have to throw this elephant a long run.
Oh man.
But go ahead and keep talking.
But yeah, it's early county. We had a short week. We really had a short week to prepare for a wing T team, and you know, with a wing team, wishbone type team, it's more so everybody has one job to do, and essentially, that bad boy is playing, but essentially, you know, we really have to learn how to do our job for 4 quarters. That's pretty much the objective and the goal. Going into last week, it was 4 quarters. We haven't played a full game yet. You know, I was telling them yesterday when we had practice that, you know, there's no such thing as a first half team or a second half team. That's just a group of guys playing. A team plays 4 full quarters. If you're a true team, and you know, we're young, and like I said, we don't have anything to reach from, you know, because they're I'm not gonna say they're used to it, but it's one thing I think they're getting out of it. It's complacency. You know, we're playing good enough to get by, more so than, you know, we're playing to win a football game, and you know, and that's a mentality change that won't be overnight. It's more so one of those things where it's gonna take time. It's gonna take some building up for sure.
Of course, Charles.
Well, I mean, out of your roster, out of your starters on offense and defense, how many are even seniors? Do you have any seniors even starting?
4 total.
4 seniors. So I mean,
you got a wide receiver.
Right,
I think he's a big time player.
This is an extremely young team.
Yeah.
Who's your wide receiver? Such a good player.
Oh yeah, Jawan Boyd.
Yeah, he's a big time player.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. So
he's just a sophomore. Boy, he's a good-looking player.
Yeah, we have like I said, we're sophomore heavy, and that's part of it too. We playing a lot of teams that are senior heavy. So a lot of those guys have 2 and 3 year starters playing. Well, for me, I have a lot of first year starters, a lot, and so this experience this year is gonna definitely prepare them for something that they're not gonna want to feel.
You know, the key to it all, Coach, the key to it all is if you're getting better each game.
Right.
If you get better each game, you can't do anything else, Coach, than that.
Yeah, we have to progress. We have to progress.
But you got to have some players that are playing pretty good. Tell us about them.
Definitely. Last week, defensively, I think Damian may have had, I think he had 16 tackles.
That's the 8th grade or 9th grade?
No, number 8 is Damian. He's a junior.
Okay.
I think Damian may have had 16 tackles.
Oh, man.
What's Damian's full name?
Damian Hart.
Yeah, my wife Carrie talks about. He's a student with her, and she said he's really good.
Yeah, Damian. He had a pretty good game defensively.
16 tackles, I guess so.
Yeah, he had a pretty good game.
Exactly.
I started 2 freshmen this game just to see how it was going to go. Quay Grimes. He's a freshman.
We're talking about a 9th grader.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, he played. This is his first game actually starting and playing a full game defensively. I was proud of the way he played. Of course, he made some freshman mistakes, but you know, with building and experience, I feel that in order for us to be successful over the next few years, those young guys have to get those reps now. Go ahead and get those jitters out. Go ahead and get those Friday night lights in their system so that when it's their time, they won't be nervous.
Something that I've noticed that you've got good team speed. You know, and that you can look for that in the future. Great team speed.
Yeah, we're fast on the edge. We have a lot of track guys that play football. And,
that's good.
And those that don't run track are that play football are going to run track.
Yeah, exactly.
If they don't play baseball, they're going to run track this year. I'm a firm believer that you have to keep running and improve your technique when it comes to running. But yeah, it doesn't feel good to lose, especially being 0-3. It's my first time as a coach ever being 0-3. But it's a learning experience, it's a humbling experience, and I think, and with the building of actually building something great, you have to go through a lot. You have to go through those losses first, so the end result may be a little bit more sweeter.
Well, the schedule looks brighter if you get through Andalusia, a real solid program. But the other after that, I think the schedule it looks like it's about even. Is that right? As far as your talent of the teams coming up.
Yeah, the next 3 games are going to be tough. After these 3 games, it's going to kind of even out. We have Andalusia. And next week we go down to Mobile to Williamson, which is a tough 4A team, and then after that we have Pike Road. So we did.
So I don't know what I was saying.
So this 3-game stretch is going to be tough for us.
In fact, I don't know if any team in the states got that kind of schedule.
Yeah, it's
now
kind of.
Pike, tell you how good Andalusia is.
Pike Road's averaging like 60 points a game.
Yeah, they're loaded.
But I tell you this, Andalusia had Pike Road on the ropes until late. They scored some late touchdowns.
Yep, 2 late touchdowns to win the game. Yeah, I was at the game for until the 3rd quarter. I had to leave. I had my daughter.
They've got a beautiful facility over there now. They've got a brand new stadium, and they've got artificial turf. And, only Andalusia and Enterprise, to me, they're the only teams I think that on your schedule that's got turf. Is that right?
Yes, Andalusia and
of course, Enterprise is not on your schedule, but they do. They have it. Pike Road's got
Pike Road has it as well. Yeah.
So how about turnovers this year, Coach, on offense? Have y'all turned the ball over a lot, or y'all just? As far as certain drives, throughout the season, or y'all doing a pretty good job as far as holding on the ball?
We don't have that many turnovers. I know against who was it? We played when we played Greenville. I don't think we had any turnovers. When we played Early County, we didn't have any turnovers that game as well. It's more so of execution. is my wife. My wife is my biggest critic. Literally, there's nothing that anybody can say to me that will hurt my feelings because my wife is going to do it for me. But she said, Coach, I know this is not true, but you all look like y'all didn't practice all week. I mean, it was ridiculous. Yeah. What are they doing? Like, and she just kept going on. And when I look at the film, I'm like, man, she's a football person. We can have intelligent arguments about football, and sometimes she's right, but I won't ever admit that.
Well, Coach, I'd like to ask you this. It's a very, very, very important position. The most important position on the field is a quarterback. How does your quarterback look? Or do we have any depth at quarterback? How does it look?
Parker is solid. He manages the game well. He's
a sophomore this year. He got 2 more years, so
yes, sir.
He's not expected to be gangbusters right now, anyway.
No, not yet. This is his first, true varsity Alabama High School Athletic Association starting. So it's one of those things where he has to get used to the speed of the game. Now, when he throws his balls, they're good balls. But we have to make sure that when the ball touches our hands, that it stays in our hands. Yeah. And I think that's an issue that we're kind of resolving. We've gotten better over the last 2 weeks when it comes to catching balls. When we played Montgomery Catholic, we dropped 7 balls that game, and out of those 7, 3 of them probably could have been touchdowns.
Back to quarterback, do you have any depth at quarterback? I mean, for you to have to play a sophomore instead of a senior, it hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, right now, I'd rather have it that way, and I say that because I got years to build this person. With a senior, he'll be a one and done guy. Then we have to rebuild another person next year.
Can he throw it pretty good? He's got a good strong arm.
Yeah, he has a pretty good arm. He can throw it 40 yards in the air. That's about as deep as we need it right now. Yeah. And Bo, he gives us what he gives us. He can throw the deep ball pretty well. He has to do a better job of reading. Bo Mizell.
He's a big kid. Looks pretty good. But of course now.
So as far as on offense and defense, you are playing a lot of guys both ways as well.
I got about 4 guys that play both ways.
Well,
Ben Dunn. He's a guy that he's one of our best interior guys up front. He starts at center and starts at nose for us. It doesn't run well without him. He's a kid that we need up front.
Is he a senior or is he
he's a sophomore as well?
Oh boy.
Yeah, he's a sophomore as well. We need him up front, and we have Zion Grady. He plays at tight end, and when we go to Denver, set with 2 tight ends. But Jackson, Jawan, and Benton and Zamir Caffey are the ones that start both ways.
I got to meet the West's father after the Troy University football game, and he helped me find a car that for this lady, and it was just a real gentleman. And of course, he's a big old guy. Well, West. Now, is West a senior or is he?
West is a senior. Yeah, Jackson is a senior.
So he's one of the leaders on the team. Then,
yeah. Jackson. He keeps the oil running defensively when it comes to knowing where everybody's supposed to be. He has that 2-year experience, and when Jackson's on the field, I feel more comfortable because I know that people are going to be lined up correctly.
Well, Coach, you got a big one against Andalusia coming up, and of course at Andalusia need a good crowd going down there for this. And let me tell you, it's an old rivalry that is starting back up. It's Andalusia and Troy. They've been dead. The rivalry's been dead for 40 years probably since.
It was big when I was playing. Yeah.
But the Andalusia Bulldogs are always a big rival, and Coach, we look forward. You're gonna have a big pep rally, and then get on the bus and go, or what?
Yeah, we might have a Trojan walk like we did previously. We instead of the pep rally, because of all the COVID stuff, we just had the kids to line up, and the band was playing in the green area.
Well, Coach, how y'all doing with COVID, Coach? Have y'all lost any players?
For the last 2 weeks, we lost one of our receivers, Khalil Carson, but he played sparingly this game. But he was out not because he had it, but because of contact tracing. So, but right now, that was the only person. And Khalil is a vital part of our team too, man. he's a kid that can run. And when I say can run, he can run. And not having him for the last 2 weeks kind of hurt us as well.
Did you go watch Troy and Liberty?
This week, no. I actually I spent time with the wife this weekend. You know, during football season, it's hard. When I say I'm at somebody's college stadium on Saturdays, every Saturday. So I said this Saturday, you know, we had a Thursday game. I said, you know what, I'm gonna have my dad keep the girls, and you know, we're gonna just have a weekend to ourselves, because she may, I hope she will, but she may not get another one. But you know, and that's nothing on her or me. It's just one of those things where it is crunch time in the middle of the season. You know, you have those college visits that you have to take your players, and you really have to prepare as if you're about to have a playoff run. So,
Coach Quinn Hambert, right, the head football coach at Charles Henson. It's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yes, sir.
So glad you came by. We'll be back with more of Today in L.A. right after this.
Check out the scoreboard. J.D. Power's #1 in initial quality midsize truck. Jeep Gladiator. 0 APR for 36 months. And no payments for 90 days. Shop PremierTroy.com today during Jeep Adventure Days and save thousands. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Welcome to ESPN College Football.
This is going to be wild. Run it.
Life is hectic enough without worrying if your lights will stay on or if there's hot water for your child's bath. So count on natural gas to keep the energy flowing, even when the weather is unpredictable. Natural gas is always there to keep your home warm, showers hot, and food cooked to perfection. That's why America has relied on safe and affordable natural gas for more than 150 years. And we will be here for you and future generations too. You can count on natural gas from Southeast Alabama Gas District.
Are you a driver trainee just finished in school and want to drive an automatic truck? Then call Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Right, Puzzle? We have automatic trucks. That's right. And we will reimburse you for your driver training. No pets? Not at Wiley Sanders Truck Line. At Wiley Sanders Truck Line, we thought of everything. We thought of the kennel for your fuzzy friend. Right, Fuzzy? Tell them about it. Wiley Sanders Truck Line, Troy, Alabama. Come drive for the best today. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Wiley Sanders Truck Line. Tell them, Fuzzy.
Check out the scoreboard. J.D. Power's #1 in initial quality truck. Ram. #1 longest lasting truck. Ram. Right now. Get 0% APR for 72 months on new Ram. Shop PremierTroy.com during Ram Power Days and save. Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody.
Quarterback.
I know, but I'm saying
that. Here we go. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy. They've had another huge sale. And Jason Gregory is jumping up and down because they are selling cars and trucks like you won't believe, both used and new cars and trucks from Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass right in Troy.
I wonder how the rodeo went this weekend. Jason's going to rodeos about every weekend with his kids.
Florida.
His daughters are championship caliber barrel racers.
I want to say he went to Seminole County for the rodeo, and you know, those Florida folks really go into it big.
Yeah.
Of course, we're still talking about high school football, Mike. Any big upsets?
How did Pike Liberal Arts come out? I haven't even heard.
They won 28-0.
28-0, I think.
And of course, they are really playing well as we speak, and had another big performance by their running back, and they look like they're back full steam ahead. Yeah.
Well, they just lost to Coach Fountain's team, which is one of the best teams in the state. Might be the best team in the state.
And then, of course, Enterprise is undefeated still. Wins 55-7 over Davidson. Central Phoenix City beats Jeff Davis 52-6.
God, a lot of blowouts, man.
And then, of course, over in Thompson continues to win. They beat Spain Park 49-6. Tell us some more, Mike.
Well, I mean, I got them all, but I mean, just
just one in our area. Just the ones in our area.
Okay. Alabama Christian beat Booker T. Washington 35-12. Harrison won 42-0 over Geneva County. Auburn beat Dothan High School 49-13. Other local scores, let's see. Brantley beat McKenzie by forfeit. So that counts just as a win. Big win here, I felt like. Ozark had not been playing well, but they blew out Rehoboth 28-9.
That surprised me, too.
Good.
Glad to see it.
Coach Hambright's old school Carver beat Park Crossing 27-12. Coach Hambright was defense coordinator there. Let's see, other local scores. Chambers Academy beat Lowndes Academy 40-6. I don't know what's happened to Goshen's program, but I don't know how many losses this is in a row, maybe 14 in a row. So Goshen loses 47-8 to Childersburg.
Yep.
How
about Pike Road?
Scores.
Pike Road came back. Oh, go ahead.
Crenshaw Christian beat Cornerstone 65-0.
Wow.
Dadeville, I don't know why you thought Dadeville wouldn't beat Pike County. They beat Pike County 46-6.
Is that what I did? Did I pick the other team?
I tell you what, people missed the boat on this hire. Luke Tucker is now 3-0 at Dale County. They won 47-42. That's Walden Tucker,
yeah, that's
the
right.
legendary coach up in Fayett's son, who also had a brother that played at Alabama, and I think he was a walk-on at Alabama. But this guy,
this kid played at Alabama too. Both of them played at Alabama.
Elba continues to play well. Blew out Zion Chapel. Looks like Zion Chapel has a really bad team, 48-12. Enterprise destroys Davidson 55-7. Escambia Academy blows out Wilcox Academy. Hugh Fountain's got a great team, 43-0. Other scores to look at. Florala's playing really well. I know the coach there used to be at Sampson. Won 41-14 over Georgiana. GW Long continues to roll, 45-16 over Houston County.
That's going to be a good one when they play. Do they play Arrington in the regular season, do you think?
GW Long, yeah.
That's going to be quite a game.
Greenville 23, Headland 0. So Greenville wins again. Other local teams, Holland home blew out Central Coosa 61-14. Big win here by the former great Charles Henderson coach Mike Dean, Hillcrest of Evergreen. He took that job late in the summer. They beat Bayside Academy 34-28 in overtime.
And Bayside was one of the best teams in the state. You know, I tell you what, that guy can coach. There's no question about it.
Oh, there is no doubt.
Everybody might forget Mike Dean. The last time he coached at Charles Henderson, they went 14-0 and lost in the championship game to Aniana. That was pretty good coaching, wasn't it?
Yep.
And but
Mike,
go ahead.
I was just making East beat Edgewood 35-19. These are some scores in our area. Trying to find some more.
I'll tell you one. Eufaula got beat
49-26 over Southside of Selma.
What happened to Eufaula?
Eufaula got beat again, Mike, but they're playing very good opponents.
Montgomery Catholic beat Reeltown 45-6. My wife's alma mater, Mountain Brook, beat Huffman 48-7. They've got to get another good team up in Mountain Brook. Let's see other scores in the area.
Did you hear me say?
Opelika beat Eufaula 21-0. Off beat Houston Academy 49-21. That was Mike DeBose against Eddie Brundage. Eddie Brundage, the head coach of Houston Academy, does.
Oh, okay. Former great player at Troy.
High Little Arts won 28-0. Pike Road won 28-14.
And that was against Andalusia. They came back. They came from, I think, I want to say 2 touchdowns down to beat Andalusia.
Sampson beat Pleasant Home 18-0. Slocum beat Providence Christian. Providence Christian must not be very good this year, 30-0. So
Slocum is real good.
That was another game we picked. Strawn and the Kill Creeks is the new head coach there. I think Ashley's the head coach there. Won 42-20 over Ashford. T.R. Miller won 27-16 over Chickasaw.
That was T.R. Miller's the 701 victory.
So that's it right there. That's the the wrap up of all the games.
All right. Well, give us a little rundown of some of the college games that folks have maybe missed.
Well, I mean, the biggest upset of the day, I think we all got this one wrong. Is Oregon came in without their top 2 defensive starters and beat Ohio State at the Horseshoe.
Yep.
Where they dot the I? You mean where they dot the I?
Yep.
But I mean, the amazing thing about that is you're talking about literally, one of the toughest places to win, in the country, and a Pac-12 team coming to beat Ohio State's a huge deal. So,
but you know what? I'll tell you what.
Mario Cristobal's stock has gone up tremendously.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. You're right, but he's a real man now. He knows what physical football is. Don't you know he does?
Here's the wrap up. Coastal Carolina won 49-22 on Friday night against Kansas. The line was 27. They won by 27. You had to push.
Yep.
Virginia blows out Illinois 42-14. So now Bielema's now lost 2 straight after winning the first game.
Yeah, he's coming back to reality.
Interesting game here. I talked to Rice about this one. Army was up by 21, maybe 28 points, but Western Kentucky storms back, and Army only wins 38-35. That game surprised you, didn't it, Rice?
Yeah, I had Army -6, and so they had it in the bag the whole game, and then Western Carolina came back and covered.
Crazy game here. Alabama State actually played Auburn really tough in the first half. We're going in for a touchdown, and they ended up blocking a chip shot field goal. Auburn returned it for a touchdown, but then in the second half, Auburn just destroyed.
Well, I want to apologize not only to Alabama State but also to Mercer. They played a little bit better than I thought they would.
I'd say so.
Well, Auburn won 62-0. The line was 49.
Auburn so far is averaging 61 points a game.
Yeah, I was at a church function yesterday, and I was talking to this guy. He's a big Auburn fan. I was just like, well, I mean, y'all are averaging 60 points a game. How in the world y'all? I mean, will y'all not beat Penn State? He started laughing. So,
but
great game here. I listened to this on the radio. Tennessee-Pittsburgh went back and forth. Tennessee actually had the lead 10-0 to start the game, but Pittsburgh has a quarterback that's made like 40 starts, and they beat Tennessee at Tennessee 41-34.
That was quite a game, wasn't it?
Yeah, I watched most of that. That was a good game.
Shane Beamer is now 2-0 as a head coach. He wins at East Carolina. South Carolina won 20-17.
Boy, by the half, his chinny.
Yeah, they had to come back. They were down 14-0, I think, and came back and won.
Now, Oklahoma State survives Tulsa. Of course, that game's a big rivalry right down the road from each other. Oklahoma State won 28-23. Other games, we mentioned Oregon won 35-28 over Ohio State. Let's see what else we got to report. Florida, who Alabama will play, won at South Florida 42-20.
Hey, but
two different quarterbacks rushed for 100 yards.
We had missed out. Florida has a ringer as their second-string quarterback.
Is he good?
Yes, he's outplayed the first-string guy in the first 2 games. He's 6'4", 238, can run like Cam Newton, and throw it. He ran for about 180 yards against Florida International, and he went 3 for 3 for about 100 yards passing. But he had an 80-yard touchdown run, and he seemed to have pulled or hurt his hamstring. So he might be questionable against Alabama, but it seems to me that there's no doubt that this other kid that I've never even heard of is not only the man, he's going to be a star.
His name's Anthony Robinson. A lot of people think he's going to beat out Emory Jones if he's healthy, so we'll find out. Virginia Tech continues to play well, beat Middle Tennessee 35-14. Dad's favorite team, Rutgers, beat Syracuse 17-7. Greg Schiano continues to impress. Huge upset here, biggest upset of the day. Nobody talked about it. DuQuoin beat Ohio at Ohio 28-16. DuQuoin was a 30-point underdog and beat Ohio.
Duquesne.
Who was that that beat them?
Duquesne.
I mean, Duquesne. Sorry.
Who would ever heard of Duquesne playing football anyway? It's a basketball school.
D-U-K-D-U, what is that? D-U-Q-U-E-S-N-E.
Duquesne. Its name. It's Duquesne.
I didn't even know how to pronounce it. Duquesne.
And they ended up beating who, Mike?
Ohio, out of Ohio.
Oh, gosh, don't you know
a 30-point favorite.
Oh, man.
That is the biggest
upset.
upset.
Solich stepped down due to health issues. So
he did. I was wondering about Solich. He did. He had some health issues.
I have to go back and watch some of this game. Notre Dame apparently got a lot of questionable calls late in the game and came back and beat Toledo 32-29.
Toledo had them down.
Well, let's reassess Notre Dame. So we gave them a lot of credit for beating Florida State, but let's reassess Florida State now.
Yeah.
So Florida State might not be so good. Notre Dame might not be so good.
I want to mention it one more time for you folks joining us late. Jacksonville State, Jack State of Alabama,
1AA team
defeated Florida State on a Hail Mary pass.
On the last play of the game.
On the last play of the game. Oh, that looks like something Jack State would do.
Interesting score here. Penn State, a lot of people thought they'd struggle with Ball State. Line was 22.5. They won 44-13.
And I would have thought that.
Interesting game here. Georgia Southern must be really down. They played at Florida Atlantic. Willie Taggart blew out Georgia Southern 38-6. Air Force beat Navy 23-3. Other games of interest. Good game out west. Actually in Texas, TCU holds on to beat California 34-32. One of the games of the day, Texas A&M traveled to Colorado. Was basically losing throughout the game. Their starting quarterback got knocked out in the first quarter. They brought a backup in, and they scored late to beat Colorado 10-7. That game was interesting to me, guys. I was shocked that Colorado played them that tough.
Well, you said it was a TCU quarterback?
No, TCU beat California 34-22. A&M.
Oh, A&M. That's right against.
Won 10-7, but A&M starting quarterback got knocked out the first quarter against Colorado.
Talking about the Sun Belt, and if Troy can beat Southern Miss. The Liberty loss was not a conference loss. So, I mean, if you're going to lose, let's not lose in the conference. But like Michael says, Georgia Southern looks like they're really down, and Georgia State, too. The two teams that we thought were going to be pretty good. And I think they're both on Troy's schedule.
Just can't stop anybody.
So Troy ought to be able to beat both of those teams this year.
You're right. And
shocker here, UAB, we thought like we'd give Georgia a great game, and then J.T. Daniels doesn't even start. The backup Stetson Bennett, who's like 5'10", threw for like 5 or 6 touchdowns. Georgia absolutely destroys UAB 56-7.
And I think they do it with those big offensive linemen and defensive linemen. They just overpowered them.
They just dominated UAB.
And it surprised me.
We picked this game for some reason. Nebraska beat Buffalo 28-3.
Yeah, well, it surprised me a little bit. Buffalo was supposed to have a pretty good team. Okay.
Alabama line was 54.5. They only beat Mercer 48-14. Alabama struggled in the first quarter on offense. They blocked the punt. Will Reichard's field goal streak came to an end. I was actually sitting with Bill Rice when that happened in the Stadium Club, so I watched that.
I hate that. He had, how many had he kicked in a row? 14?
He had 19 in a row.
19 in a row.
34 yards, too. I mean,
but Mercer, played Alabama tough. Final score 48-14. Great comeback win by South Alabama. South Alabama and their new coach Womack are now 22-19. Won 22-19. Comeback win over Bowling Green. How about this? South Alabama scored 10 points in the last minute and 39 seconds to win the game.
That's why they're lucky. And I'm getting where I don't want to root for them in anything.
Yeah,
Iowa pretty much blew out Iowa State at Iowa State 27-17. I tell you, Iowa's a team to watch.
You know what? I didn't watch the game, but I checked the stats, and Iowa State had a lot more first downs in offense, but they had a lot of turnovers, and Iowa won easily.
It proved again that a coach can't play. Everybody, this team is getting all this hype because of the coach, and Iowa would have none of it.
I picked Iowa. That was one of my good picks.
Jordan Leslie got the shutout as West Virginia beat Long Island University, which I'd never even knew played football until this year.
I have heard it all.
66-0.
Yep.
I've heard of
Neil Brown and Matt Moore and Sean Reagan and Jordan Leslie and all those guys we know.
Oh yeah, all our buddies. They're right.
I've heard of Long Island Tea.
Yeah.
Other scores of entrance, we got Houston Skid Row win on the road. Houston blows out Rice 44-7. Oklahoma only beat Western Carolina 76-0.
Bless their hearts.
One game we need to talk about, Michael. Let's skip forward.
Yeah, App State travels to Miami. This was Big Mike's upset. Almost happened. Miami wins 25-23 over App State.
I liked them.
Was a last-minute touchdown to beat them, didn't they? I mean, they came back very late to win that game.
Shocker here to me. I guess I didn't give Arkansas enough credit.
That shocked me too.
Really good coach in Sam Pittman, but they blow out Texas 40-21.
Oh, that might be the shocker. I mean, not that they won. The line was about 6.5, but they just dominated Texas. Beat the slop out of them.
Yeah, Sarkisian obviously has got a lot of recruiting to do, and if they're getting beat by Arkansas, imagine all the rest of the SEC teams when they start playing them.
That's right. You know, this guy's a hard-nosed coach. He's back to old original coaches.
Well, everybody that says anything about him brags about him, and Coach Fountain's brother is on the staff. His son is on the staff.
That's right.
Arkansas, they have found their coach. It sounds like.
Yeah, no question about it. No.
Yeah, he's got good coordinator too. Barry Odom used to be the head coach of Missouri, and he's a good coach. And he's also got the former Baylor coach's son as his offense coordinator.
Yeah.
Upset alerts almost happened. Texas Tech barely beat Stephen F. Austin 28-22. Kansas State survived Southern Illinois 31-23. So there were some close games.
Yeah.
Liberty, of course, beat Troy. We mentioned that 21-13. That line, right, went all the way to 3 at kickoff. That's a lot of respect that Vegas was showing Troy.
No question about it. Of course, Troy.
Memphis, and Arkansas State. Listen to this score: 55-50.
I know it. You're right.
I thought that Hatcher. Hatcher didn't start last week, and. They played 2 quarterbacks, and Hatcher had by far the best numbers, but then they played 2 quarterbacks again. And so I've decided that Arkansas State is doing the exact same thing they did last year. They're rotating rotating quarterbacks, obviously.
And,
this would have been the upset of the year here. Louisiana Lafayette, which was ranked last week, barely beats Nicholls State at 27-24.
Oh boy, that goes to show you they can be beat. No question about it.
Mississippi State had the best weekend though. I mean, unbelievable, just blowout. I think NC State scores late, but Mississippi State wins 24-10 over NC State.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I had NC State,
and I had North Carolina State.
Yeah. Southern Miss beats Grambling 37-0. So that's Coach Hall's first victory there. They'll play Troy this week. Yeah. Texas State. That's a program improving. They went to Miami and beat Florida International, coached by Butch Davis, 23-17. Other scores late. Great game. I listened to this on the radio when I was driving those roads heading back from the beach. Leaving Troy, heading back to the beach on Saturday night. Kentucky holds on, beats Missouri 35-28.
I tell you,
good game there.
This is a completely different type of Kentucky team. Last year or a few years back, they were running the ball. Now they're throwing the ball.
I looked at the stats this morning. They were running the ball again. Their running back had 215 yards.
Oh man! So both.
North Carolina beat Georgia State out of the Sun Belt 59-17. So now Georgia State's giving up 43 to Army and 59 to North Carolina. Ole Miss blows out Austin Peay 54-17. Biggest upset of all time for Jacksonville State, 28-point underdog at Florida State. They got probably paid $1 million to play the game, and Jacksonville State beats Florida State 20-17.
They almost beat Auburn several years ago, and then they finished against Florida
I tell you what, people are starting to gain real respect for Jack State.
Michigan is looking better. Michigan beat Washington 31-10. LSU beat McNeese State. Interesting storyline. McNeese's starting quarterback is Ed Orgeron's son, Cody Orgeron.
Where is McNeese?
So,
where is McNeese State located? Is it
in St. Charles?
Is it in? It's in Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Louisiana,
They're right down the road.
Well, I looked at the attendance, and that was not a
left,
sellout. I would have thought that would have been a sold-out Tiger Stadium, but it was not sold out.
I got back late, and I couldn't go to sleep, so I drank so many Diet Cokes in the stadium club. And I stayed up till 12:45 to watch Vanderbilt snap their 12-game losing streak. Vanderbilt wins at Colorado State 24-21. Game-winning kick by Joseph Palaos, Alabama fans. The kicker that missed the kick against Auburn is now the kicker for Vandy, and he won the game.
Oh, really? What's his name again?
Yeah.
Joseph Palaos.
That was one of Bill Rice Jr.'s upset specials that came in.
Yeah.
Also, BYU beats Utah.
That was another one of Bill Rice.
What was that score, Mike?
BYU wins 26-17. Also, games late at night. This was a shocking score to me. Stanford got blown out in their first game at Kansas State. They go on the road and beat USC 42-28.
I know it. That one really surprised me because, but you know what?
And then your last chance to get back at the man to win all your money back. Oregon State was 10.5, playing Hawaii at home, and they won 45-27.
Yep. Okay. Well, I tell you, that's a great rundown, Mike. Great rundown. I appreciate that. That was good.
What's the kickoff time of Troy and Southern Miss? Do we know?
I want to say 6 o'clock. Yeah.
6 o'clock. It's a night game. Evening.
And I got to go. I'm going to that game. I already got 2 tickets. Anybody want to go with me?
Anybody want to drive a Premier Dodge Chrysler beautiful Ram truck to drive Mike Amos to Hattiesburg?
That's right.
I drove it to Ayrton.
And you know what I'll do? I'll go in there and borrow one of them. I'll borrow one of those Ram trucks that I'm driving.
We saw Lyle Wise was at the Ayrton game.
I had trouble with my truck the other day, and guess who showed up? Jason Gregory came out there just to see what was going on.
How about that?
Boy, what a great guy. But, of course,
what was y'all's opinion, though, as far as the crowd at the Troy game? I thought it was a really, really poor crowd. I was shocked. I thought maybe 25 to 28,000 people would be there. I mean, you had Auburn playing nobody. You had Alabama playing nobody. Those games all finished early. I mean, I would say maybe 18,000 people were there.
All right, Mike, I will tell you this. I asked somebody about this. The overhang, under the overhang, the old stands under the overhang, they said it was jam-packed.
Yeah, so a lot of people
so you were looking up at high-rise.
Well, I mean, I was looking to the left, and it was all empty.
Yeah, you're right.
Up in the stadium club.
But
and then across the way, you had the military in that top corner in the upper deck.
Yeah.
But other than that was empty seats all around there. And Liberty probably maybe brought 500 people, I guess.
Yeah. I'll tell you this.
But,
yeah.
I was disappointed. I thought it was going to be.
I thought it was an excellent student crowd. I mean, excellent student crowd. It was just jam-packed on the student side.
Well, a lot of people never take their seats, so it is tough. But in the upper deck on the George Wallace Drive side, it wasn't that full, so it was kind of disappointing. But, attendance in every stadium in America almost is just it's a big issue in college football.
I'd like to find out.
How about this? Troy has no stadium attendance, no ushers. Anybody can go anywhere they want.
Oh, let me tell you something. They just swarm.
Which is kind of something that's not bad. I sat right next to the general admission seats, and let me just tell you, there was several people that were coming.
Yeah, they sure was
coming into the stadium club. So
you're exactly right. They need to get some kind of usher.
Maybe you want to try to put somebody there or not, but I'm just saying where we were. I watched it the whole game, and nothing was done.
Well, I'll tell you what, they got all they could eat. All the ice cream they could eat, the popcorn they eat, the hot dogs and hamburgers,
barbecue.
Those big, those hamburgers were big.
The Stadium Club is the best deal in town.
Oh yeah,
no telling.
We met possibly the new could possibly win the new Senate seat. Representing the U.S. Senate in the state of Alabama, Katie Britt.
Yeah, beautiful.
Who's married
girl,
to Wesley Britt, who's all 6'8". I mean, he is a giant of a guy that played at Alabama.
Boy, he is.
She was in attendance, and we met her before the game. She was super nice. She's talking about coming on the show soon.
I tell you, somebody I saw, Mike.
She'll be going up against Mo Brooks for the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, boy, I want to beat
Richard
Mo
Shelby.
Brooks. Get Mo Brooks out of there. You're right.
I see Katie Britt
Well,
signs all over Troy already.
Yeah, she was super nice. But hopefully we'll have her on the show soon. Of course.
What did Mo
I felt like the
Brooks
military
claim to
appreciates
fame?
What?
What did Mo Brooks claim to fame?
Well, he was part of that horrible shooting with
Exactly
Congress.
right.
He was up during when they were having that baseball game. He got when the Scalise got shot. The congressman or senator out of Louisiana. He actually was trying to save his life by putting bandages on him and wrapping him up. And
Did he end up saving his life?
yeah, well, the Secret Service agents actually saved his life. They killed the gunman.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember that. But a lot of people don't remember Mo Brooks until that bad incident happened.
You know what? Let's talk about something that was the highlight of the game Saturday night was Sheila Jackson singing "God Bless America." I mean, I've never seen the football players on the other team stopping and forgetting about the football game and just becoming spectators, and everybody was wowed by
jumping
Sheila.
up and down. Sheila is
she's a treasure for Troy.
Treasure.
I didn't realize that she had that Opry vibe. I mean, not Opry, but what?
Yeah, it's Opry. It's Opry.
Opera.
Yeah. Mike, she
yeah,
can.
opera. I didn't know she had that. That was amazing to hear.
Oh
You know,
man, I've heard her sing like that for years.
It's my claim to fame is that she's in my class 83, Charles
Was
Henderson.
she really? Okay.
So I was hearing Sheila sing when she was in 10th grade. She was singing at events at Charles
You
Henderson.
know what song she sings better than anybody, anything, and anybody is "Oh Holy Night."
Not bad.
You remember that great song? "Old Holy Night." She sings that wonderfully.
I felt like that was a good halftime show. I kind of wish they would have let all the different, former military stay on the field, and
I know
they
it.
actually brought the cadets, like just let them stay out there instead of
you're
marching
right.
in and marching out.
You're right. They
But,
marched out. You're exactly right.
I enjoyed that. The fireworks were going on. I'm sure your daughter liked that, right?
Yep.
Boy,
she
another
loves
great
all the
fireworks.
stuff around the fireworks, the band, the cheerleaders.
The jets flew over. Where was she with the jets flew over?
She was in your seats that you let us use. I was in the stadium club, so I didn't see it. I just heard it.
Yeah, boy, I know it. Yeah.
I tell you what, the student section. I'm glad you mentioned that, Dad. That when I was in college, students didn't get into games. Troy was 1AA, even though we played good teams and stuff. It means people would go to games, but they probably would stay the whole halftime and leave. But I tell you what, that is a strong student section. I mean,
It
they cheer,
really
they
is.
scream, they holler the whole game.
You're
Of course,
right.
you got the Sound of the South right next to them. I mean, that's really a great presence to have, and I'm so proud of those students to
I am too.
support like they do.
I am too. You're exactly right, Mike. Exactly right. And of course, now tell us about some of the folks that we got coming up. What games do we have? I know Auburn's got to go on the road.
Oh, I mean, this is the best weekend ever. You got Alabama at Florida live on CBS at 2:30.
All right, live on CBS.
yeah.
Okay.
Alabama
You got
better watch out.
Auburn, Penn State. Penn State's where game day is going to be.
All right, game day's gonna be there. They're gonna white it out, you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
What time's that game,
Yeah.
Mike?
Auburn's game. Let's see. It's going to be 6:30, so it's going to be at
6:30
night.
a night game. Oh boy, that's gonna be a good one. Now, when does Alabama play? 2:30.
2:30, and then Troy will play at 6.
Okay.
2:30 in the swamp in that heat. So the team that is best conditioned and has the best depth is going to have an advantage.
Troy is at 6, and of course the Sound of the South. Somebody told me the whole band was going to go straight up against the Dixie Darlings. Y'all know who the Dixie Darlings, aren't you?
Yeah, Southern Misses Band.
Southern Misses Band. So that will be a lot of pageantry for that game. Mike, tell us some more.
Yeah, we got games this week. You got UCF traveling to Louisville. I think that game's going to be on Friday night. Yeah, good games. Michigan State's traveling to Miami this weekend. That'll be an interesting game.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see if there's any lines out yet on some of these games. Virginia Tech traveling to West Virginia. What a big game for Neil Brown.
Oh yeah.
Well, I saw that they announced the lines. Alabama's a 15-point favorite in the Swamp.
15-point
Auburn
favorite.
is a 7-point underdog to Penn
Oh
State.
boy, look, Auburn's gonna win the football
I
game.
think I
ladies and gentlemen.
predicted the line would be 5. So, and I think Michael said the touchdown. So
Yeah.
he got it perfectly
Yeah,
right.
Remember,
I'm not
Auburn's
seeing-
gonna
I'm not
win the
seeing
football
movement, yeah.
game.
See, I'm not seeing lines on scores and odds. Where do you see that at, Bryce?
It was a headline on AL.com. I didn't read the story, but it said the early lines had Alabama minus 15 and Auburn
Could see an upset here. Mississippi State travels to Memphis.
Yeah, that's right. That's going to be. You're right. I would almost take Memphis right now as we speak. Let's go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Well, we only got 5 minutes left.
Okay, that's right. That's right. We've got Wiley Sanders Truck Lines coming up right after our show, and of course we appreciate them very much being a part of our show too. Mike.
Well, let's just say this, Mike. Charles Henderson beats Andalusia. That'll be big. Troy beats Southern Miss. Very big.
I think it would be big.
It wasn't Southern Miss the model when we went Division I, as we're going to be the next Southern Miss. So let's beat Southern Miss.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Auburn beats Penn State in Happy Valley. Big for Auburn. Huge for Auburn, really.
Yeah.
And then Alabama.
Oh, man, that would be a huge win. I mean, because Penn State's playing really well.
Alabama's got a couple of tests all year, and the first one, a real test, is Florida. I can remember Alabama going into Florida and getting stomped in 1992.
That was during the days of the old coach.
I tell you what, that is a loud stadium.
Yeah.
If you let Florida get some momentum,
I have been there. Those Florida fans get into it.
Well, for Alabama,
you want a quick wrap up the NFL?
Yeah, do that, please.
All right, Cardinals beat the Titans. Shocking score here, 38-13. Julio didn't do anything. Derrick Henry didn't do much. Eagles big win, 32-6 over the Falcons. Najee Harris wins his first game with the Steelers, 23-16. Panthers beat the Jets 19-14. Interesting storyline there is Sam Darnold, the former Jets quarterback, got the win against his former team. Seahawks beat the Colts 28-16. Great game here. Bengals win in overtime 27-24 over the Vikings. 49ers win 41-33 over the Lions. Texans big over Urban Meyer in his debut. Texas win 37-21 over the Jaguars. Chargers come back and beat Washington 20-16. Dolphins survive against the Patriots. We talked about that earlier. 17-16. Jameis Winston played out of his mind as a starter for the Saints. They blew out the Packers.
They sure did.
38-3. Broncos beat the Giants 27-13. Chiefs come back, beat the Browns. Great game there, 33-29. And then the game last night, I hope you had the Rams because they blew out the Bears, 34-14. Tonight you'll have 2 games tonight.
2 games?
I believe so. Let me make sure. Yeah. No, 1 game tonight. You'll have Ravens at the Raiders.
That's going to be a good one.
Beautiful stadium. That'll be a great game tonight. A lot of Alabama guys on the Raiders.
But the Raiders are not really that good, though, are they, Mike?
Well, Carr's not a bad quarterback. Of course,
all right, we got to go.
They got Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake at running back now.
Okay. We'll talk more tomorrow on this show on Today in L.A. Hope you enjoyed our show. We'll see you again this afternoon at 1:30. And I hope you have a great day. And here comes Wiley Sanders Truck Lines down this road today.